What's going on? You got the almighty DJ CJ Flash back with a brand new live episode of I Remember That Song. Here to tell you all about it is the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jerry Dove.
CJ Flash, Dominus, Ominous, Dominus, Ominous. What's going on with you, brother?
Everything is everything. How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling really bluesy. I'm feeling bluesy.
Bluesy?
Bluesy.
Bluesy as in down?
No, it's in blue as in my jacket to match my eyes. That's all I did. See, you never noticed I had blue. Never mind. Was it? Man, I'm doing okay. You know, this weather is crazy as always. We talked about the weather at the beginning. Yesterday it's raining and cold, and today it's a little overcast. And Thursday it's gonna be 95 degrees out here where I live. So,
right,
what you gonna do? Just roll with it. Just roll with it, right? Roll with it. I love music. I see you got your shirt on. I love music.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we do. So we got some good music tonight. We got our friends going to be joining us a little bit. And for those of you who don't know, I am Jerry Dove. I'm the host and the creator of the show we call I Remember That Song. It's IRTS Live. It's me and my friends sitting around talking about music and what it means to us. We had some great guests tonight. But before we get started with that, let's bring in another one of our friends and say hello to Mr. Russell Gaywood. What's up, Big Russ?
What's going on, man? Good to see you, brothers.
Good to see you as well, man. Good to see you. I know you've been busy. Did you get to these movies? Did we talk about Michael Jackson movie yet?
No, we did not.
Okay, so let's have a brief conversation about that. What y'all think?
Everybody I saw at the screenings that I had, they loved it. You know, I'm kind of a super user when it comes to Michael Jackson, so I always want to learn something.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that the nephew did an amazing job, considering that was his first real acting role.
Yes.
You know, there'll always be questions about why Rebbie wasn't involved at all or mentioned. I thought Antoine Fuqua did an amazing job putting this movie together, considering it was supposed to be a 3-hour film, and they had to cut it, and then they, at the last second, because of some issues with the estate, they had to do 20 days of reshoots, still meet the deadline.
Damn.
Thought they did a great job on that part.
Yeah.
It was a good biopic. It's not, you know, you're not going to learn it all.
Yeah.
And there are things that they left out that I thought were important to his overall canon, like The Wiz, because that was not just important to him and his development as an overall artist, but to Black people. The Wiz was a huge event for Black people.
And that's how we met Quincy.
And it was a notable omission.
And that's how we met Quincy, and that would have made more sense. But you know what I had to do is I had to let go. I had to let go because as soon as I saw them playing Never Can Say Goodbye, and they made it sound like it was earlier, it was like 4 years later than what it really was. I said, okay, I got to just let it go.
Yeah, there was some different timeline.
Let it go and just watch the movie. Yeah. And so watching the movie, I enjoyed it. The kid, like you said, the young man was amazing. It was great to hear the music booming out of the speakers in the movie theater. It's great to be in a movie theater for that matter, you know, because they haven't been in there as much as we used to. So that was kind of cool. What do you think, CJ?
I echo both of you guys. I thought the action, and it was good to see it in IMAX. I thought the dancing was phenomenal. And the scenes and the way that they edited the dancing parts, pretty damn good.
Yeah, I'm not negative. I don't want to be negative. But,
no.
Yeah.
No. I didn't take it as that. No.
Yeah. No.
You're a movie buff. You're a movie buff. That's what you do.
The omissions were there. I saw quite a few omissions, but I was able to know because I did read the book many years ago, Moonwalker by Michael Jackson, by his words. And so I know why certain things and certain people weren't in that movie. I totally get it. Mm-hmm. So if you guys get a chance, pick up the book and read, and the book will fill in some gaps for you.
That's one of the things I had to let go because I started thinking about, okay, where is Rebbie? And how come the brothers aren't getting to really talk? And how come we don't even know which one is which? It's only all that off-screen stuff. But I will say this, the one thing I learned, just to wrap this up, is I was not aware of his bodyguard. And who had been with him since the time he was a child. I don't know. That guy was really good at his job because I never noticed him.
Yeah, Bill was was an integral part, man. He was,
Yeah.
and it was a good showcase. It was a good showcase of didn't really super go into it, but by showing Gladys, that was a kind of an ode to kind of. I thought it was really cool that they did the show just how bad the FC accident was. Because we didn't have an internet, we didn't have TMZ back then. We didn't know exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
320 kids to see it through their eyes and see them actually applauding as though they were at a concert. That was exciting.
Nice. All right, two other things really quickly, and we'll get our guest up in here. I want to let you guys know that my wife is doing something. I tried to get her to come on here and talk about it herself, but she said, I'll do it next week. So she works for Visit Concord. This is for all you Bay Area folks out here. They are having a great big celebration coming up on Thursday, May the 14th. It's from 5 to 8 p.m. It's at the Veranda at the Game Show Studios. It's going to be lots of fun, lots of games, lots of food, prizes, drinks. You get a chance to play a lot of games. Bring your family, bring your friends, and she will tell you a lot more about it. You can get more information at Visit Concord, California. Visit ConcordCA.com. Visit ConcordCA.com. Celebrate Concord next Thursday, May the 14th. And then one other thing coming up this Friday, if you're in the Bay Area, me, CJ Flash, Ryan Nicole, Joan Garcia on Like It or Not right here on Channel 2, KTBU. Did another episode of Like It or Not. It was dedicated to the mothers because it is Mother's Day weekend coming up. Set your DVR right now to catch it because we never know exactly what time and what station it's going to come on, but I do know it's coming on Friday. So check it out and let us know if you liked it or not. All right, enough about that. Now here's
That's good.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Good lighting on that TV studio. How about that? Our show tonight, it's got great energy. We got two guests who have a lot of success in the world of indie soul music. Chris Carr is a New York City radio presenter at the Soul Cafe Radio, a radio station built exclusively for great independent soul, R&B, soulful jazz, and adult contemporary music with over 3 million listeners weekly. In 2018, he helped launch the Indie Soul Awards, which is the equivalent of the Grammys for independent artists. Our man, Tony Lindsay, is a Bay Area guy who we all know and love. He spent 25 years as the lead singer of Santana, and then started his own successful solo career. Tony has had several songs on the indie soul charts, including, best guess we can figure is about 9, might be more, #1 hits. His current single, The Gift of Love, just fell to #2 after a nice stretch in the #1 spot. I want you guys to say hello and show some love to Chris Clay and to Tony Lindsay. There we go. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, gentlemen?
It's always good to hit the button after you hit the announcement. Hit the button to start, right? Fire it off. What's going on, gentlemen?
Hey, how you doing?
Man, we're doing all right. I'm doing all right. Chris and Tony, I saw you guys a couple of weeks ago at this event in San Francisco, the Soul Indie Awards, or the Indie Soul Awards. Tony, you were part of a group that received a gift, a prize. Tell us about that.
Well, that was for the song Daydreamer that I did with the Bay Area musicians with what's his name? I can't think of his name now. Chris can help me out.
Edgar.
Edgar De Leon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Edgar and Mark. I can't think of Mark's last name right now, but they wrote the song, and it had me and Kevin Choice is rapping on it, and Mark is singing on it as well as me, and Larry Batiste is on it, and we got some Bay Area cats. About Randy Yamada produced the project, who is my favorite cat when it comes to producing. He's helped me produce all of my stuff too.
Wow.
Along with Mr. Clay.
Nice.
Very, very important part of my whole team there. I love it, man.
It's a good song. We're going to play a bit of it in a little bit.
Yeah.
Chris, before we get really into this, you work with Indie Soul, right? So you've had a long career in broadcasting and everything else. And I know you work with the big companies and all like that. So what brought you to Indie Soul? What made you think, yeah, this is what I really want to do? I'm going to help some other folks out.
Uh-oh, you're muted.
You're muted.
Is it back?
There we go. And what made you decide? What brought you into all of this? Boom.
I don't know if I ever thought about being on indie radio. I did 25 years with Cumulus, iHeart, and I had actually retired from radio and was doing my own thing. And I got a call one day, and I was like, these guys were putting on a station that was super serving independent music. And back in the day, as when you think about independent music, you think about music that is made in the basement. The quality isn't there, and I wasn't really excited about joining the team. And they kept talking to me, and then they told me how much they would pay me, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm down. Let's see what." And I really didn't think it was going to last that long. But here we are, man. There is so many great indie artists out here, and I'm so glad that I did. I'm so glad I made the choice to be a part of the indie culture.
And how long you been with them?
9 years now.
9 years, okay. And that's Soul Cafe Radio, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So where to work it? And you do a shift. You do it Monday through Friday from 2 to 6 Eastern time because you're in New York. So you're playing. I looked at the playlist and I looked at some of the people that you guys have honored last year. So I'm going to drop a few of the names, and CJ's going to play some of the songs. But you had everybody from Kevin Ross, who we all know and love out here. We love Kevin. Cornell Carter, who's from the Bay Area, right?
Yeah.
Leela James is the big name. You got Mindy Abair. You got Teddy Swims, Charlie Wilson, Stokely, Kim. You got Ann Nesby. You got a lot of songs from some artists who had just her in your charts this weekend in the top 5, top 6. Babe Wright, Sam Henshaw, Kathy Cousins, Jamie Foxx is up there. I mean, you're all over the board. You got some great artists up there. And I listen to some of the music, and I really appreciate what you're doing, because to tell you the truth, out here in the Bay Area, a lot of music that you're playing, we're not hearing that on our radio waves. We're not hearing it nowhere. So
exactly.
Well, it's really interesting though, because all of these major artists now are now dropping away from the major label and doing their own thing as an independent artist, and so it kind of broadened the playlist, but it also makes it kind of unfair too, because you have someone like Usher, who is a mainstay at regular radio, but he comes over to the indie side, bringing millions of fans. And so somebody like Tony Lindsay has a problem going to number one when you have an Usher on the chart.
So what do you do to balance that out?
So what we've done is that we've kind of set the IBA set a thing where you can only stay number one for 5 weeks if you're a big artist like Usher. So after 5 weeks, it's like, now, man, you got to make room for somebody else. And then when it comes to the awards, we kind of broke all of the national artists out and let them compete against themselves. And then that makes room for all the other indie artists to be able to really have a chance to win Record of the Year, to have a male or female artist of the year.
It's a good thing though, because competing with those artists, it makes us really get our act together when we're producing our material. You can't put in, like Chris said, they were afraid of people going to be doing some production out of their basement, and the stuff wouldn't sound right. We put time and we put some money into the production of our stuff, because I want to compete with the Ushers and the Jamie Foxxes and all of that sound, and it just makes us spend more time on our music and getting our act together.
And I have to say, most indie artists now are definitely spending big studio money to produce records, man. I mean, like, you hear the records now, and the quality of the production is almost second to none.
Yeah. I like now, Tony, you're an interesting one, because you had spent 25 years as a lead singer of Santana, and then you went solo. So you're a whole different category then, aren't you?
Well, and I was actually solo before, and even and while I was with Santana. I never gave it up. So I always worked on this, and it's just, it comes down to finding the right guys to help you and getting that small team together. And I only got a few cats. I had Randy Amata, Chris Clay, And then I have these two ladies that help me out if I need to put some posters together. Linda Wu and Tina Abaza, they help me out, but the rest of it is it's all me.
Well,
That's
you work
it.
hard. You work hard. You have to. Now, let me ask you this real quick. I'm gonna let the other guys get in. You do a lot of national anthems with our local
Yes.
teams here, the San Francisco Giants and Niners and the Warriors and even the Sharks. And whenever I see you about this thing, I say that's 99% sure we're gonna get a win tonight. So how come
And
they
it's
don't have you
true.
come out every game, every
Well,
home game?
it's interesting you said that because the last time the Giants had their little homestand here against the Dodgers, I sang that game and they beat the Dodgers in 2 games,
See,
which which they really never do. They probably
Mhm.
lost since then though, but
Oh, yeah.
They just ended a 6-game losing streak.
isn't that a trip?
Wow.
Mm.
You need to go
And
sing, man.
yeah,
well, the Warriors didn't call me this year either. That's why they didn't get in the playoffs. See?
right there.
I agree with that. I believe that. I believe that. Now, Big Russ spent many, many years, and he can tell you better than me, obviously, working for Universal, and so he can tell you about that side of it. And Russ, what are your first thoughts about indie music and indie artists, and what Chris Clay is doing?
Well, to Chris's point about the independent artists actually spending big money to uh, make sure they have quality product out there, they also benefit from technology. Technology has kind of evened the playing field. There's a lot of the suites that are out there can make, in any plugin, can mimic or replicate or even emulate um, any recording studio, any microphone you want to use, any outboard effect you want to use. They can do it all in the comfort of their own home studio. They come out with some fantastic material just based on what you know electronics have been able to help them do. I don't know all of the you go to NAM and you see all these different products that are out there. These guys are buying it up, plugging, figuring out how it works for them. Um, Not to mention the advent of AI, being able to hey AI, make me a hit song, you know, and AI will give them the guidelines for it, and then they'll put their own artistry to it. Um, but the and I will say that the what we call the bigger artists are doing the same thing, exact same thing.
Absolutely.
How do you combat that, Chris? What's that? How do you do that?
I don't think that you combat it. I think that you get with it because it's not going anywhere. I just heard yesterday, I heard a new Ron Isley record, and it's produced by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. And they were saying on this conference call that 80% of Ron's vocals have been sent through AI because he's 80 plus years old, can't hit the notes anymore. So they're like, man, we're embracing it, and I just think that we're going to see more and more of that coming with national artists as well as indie artists. It's not going anywhere.
You're gonna have to come up with a whole nother category for your soul awards,
Absolutely. We
Well,
had our first AI artist win newcomer of the year, Zanaya Monet. I mean, this girl, she was on everybody's playlist. She had some crazy amount of streams and airplay on the record, on our very first record. So I think that we're definitely gonna have to make room for AI artists.
So let me ask you this: as a purist, and I'm calling myself a self-proclaimed purist, how do I? When I heard the Herb song the first time, because as DJs we get stuff all the time, people send us things. Something was thinner about it than what I am used to, and it wasn't the quality of the music or the production. There was just something thinner about it, and so you can hear the difference, but it's going to change. But how, as a purist,
Absolutely.
you want to, I like to listen to music that I would like to go see somebody play it. I want to see them perform it. I want them to come to my city. Like one of my favorite artists, Yeba, she'll be in San Francisco tomorrow. She's, I'm looking forward to the show because I like her music. I want to see her perform. I want to see her live interpretations of it. It's sort of like, it's weird. I know it's here to stay. But at some point it's going to be get like getting a, like a traffic camera ticket. It's not.
You didn't even get to yell at the policeman.
Yeah,
I wasn't speeding, man. No,
at court, I have the right against a trial against my accuser, and R2D2 shows up. It's not, so as a purist, and I'm sure that everybody on this panel loves music, including the man who's wearing the shirt because he loves music. At what point do you say, okay, I want to hear a real person do it?
I think that radio is driven by people 25 to 35 on a day-to-day basis. And as a radio programmer, I believe that my ratings come from giving the people what they want. I love music. I love live music. I love seeing the artists interpret their recordings. But as a programmer, I have to kind of switch hats and say, okay, y'all know that record's not real, but you calling for it all the time. And my job is to give you what you're asking for. So I take my personal out of it and just do my job. Now, I have heard some AI records that I really dig, but I understand I'm never going to see that artist because there is no artist. I understand that I'm never going to see you out live. So it's a weird balance because my girl hates it. She's like, we were just talking about this before we started. She's like, man, I'm not feeling no AI. And, so I try and trick her all the time. And she's saying what you're saying. She said, I could tell. It's something in that sound that just doesn't lend itself to the records I'm used to. So I'm continually trying to fool her. And I think that AI platforms are getting better in their technology.
Yes, they are.
And so in the next few years, I think that it's going to be hard to tell.
No, it's not the next 4 years. It's the next few weeks.
Yeah,
because the system learns from itself. It learns from what your input. It learns from itself. It's the next few weeks. Yeah. I had we were at a gig a couple months ago, I think it was, CJ, and I played a number of AI versions of songs for him just to say, listen to this. This is awful, but listen to it. Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this. Just because we need to stay on top of it and say, okay, it's here to stay, and it's growing. They'll do some, like there was a an AI version of a 50s soul version of 50 Cent's 21 Questions.
I heard that.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't heard that.
And Tony, it slapped. It was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
wow.
crazy.
Well, yeah.
There's a friend of ours. Oh, go ahead.
I got another side of it. See, I explain this to people all the time because they ask about the AI thing, and I always tell them, you know what, that thing is so far ahead of us that we're actually behind it, trying to catch up. I said, so with me, like I asked Chris back a long time ago when I started hearing this AI stuff, and I said, how is that going to affect the music that I put out? As long as it doesn't affect me, I don't care. I'll listen to some of that stuff, and I might learn some things from it. But, the satisfaction and enjoyment that I get out of sitting there working on a tune, coming up with some chords and a melody and writing a lyric and editing a lyric, and sometime one doggone line it take me 6 months before I finally go, bing, it comes out. Oh, that's it. When I finish that tune, and then I get production done on it and everything, and I hear that on the radio, the satisfaction that I get from that, it would be nowhere near with me coming up with a title and coming up with maybe one line, putting it in AI, and it writes the rest of the song for me. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I get that satisfaction out of doing the work right from start to finish. And you can't, I don't know, there's a lot of artists that are probably going the AI direction. There's a lot of producers doing it, but I'm kind of fighting against it right now. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because I love that feeling of doing a song from scratch.
It works for you, though. It definitely works for you.
Yeah.
You know, you're making good records, but I think that the whole AI thing, when you have a kid that always dreamt of being a star or an artist, and they just kind of put in a title, like you said, and then they call it, "Hey, I'm an artist now." It's like, no, you're not an artist. You know, you're just a prompter at this point. That's all. But but radio, and then you look at the streaming numbers that these records are putting up, man. You can't disqualify. It's
Crazy.
like obviously somebody's loving these records.
Yeah. Because a lot of people really don't know that they're listening to an AI song.
I've been fooled. Fooled.
Yeah.
There's a friend of ours that we do a request thing on Thursday nights, and she hipped me to some music, and I played it, and I listened to it, and then somebody pulled my call and was like, "Yeah, that's AI." The Joy Rhodes, I think her name is, or the bot's name is Joy Rhodes, and then Inga Rose. Those are both AI generated songs, but the songs are good.
Yeah.
And they're
there's something about Inga. I've heard a lot of that one. Yeah.
The content is good, and so I'm on the fence about it. I'm all for artistry. We grew up in it. There was music in the schools. It was about the art. But I get where these younger people aren't necessarily groomed in the fashion that we were.
Right.
And then it's art versus being paid. So are these young people about being paid, or are they about the true art form? Because I think the ones that are really growing up and being groomed in the art of songwriting, of song production, aren't going to necessarily go the AI route.
I think it's exciting.
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
I think it's exciting on one way because and CJ, you just triggered something with me. You mentioned school. These kids who have this natural inclination towards music, when back in the day, you got the recorder and the piccolo and the clarinet, but you're exposed to something that it triggers something within you that opens up this curiosity. Now these kids can actually do this on their phone, and they're creating things on their phone. So it's still music. And if I truly love music, I have to applaud their ingenuity and their creativity within the box of AI. They're giving, they learn the prompts, they learn exactly how to get it done, and then they get it done, and now they have a finished product that they can be proud of. And it forces them to write. I didn't like that lyric. Let me write something else. So I see both sides of it. I don't like both sides of it, but I see both sides.
Yeah. It's in our face, man.
Yeah.
It might be your face in a minute.
but as Ron Leopard said, AI can't sign an autograph, though.
Yes, it can. Yes, it can. You see those robots look
Well, listen. First of all, hey, do you mind? What's going on?
Hey, how y'all doing?
What's happening?
Are we echoing? We're all echoing.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you mind?
Actually,
You
sound
last
pretty-
when it came on, so it must have been you.
Oh, it's gone now.
There we
it's
go.
not.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Boo.
Nope.
No, there it is.
Do you mind if we were fine until you came in? So do something with your mic, and you don't want on a radio station right now.
Nope.
All right, look, you're watching IRTS Live, and we are doing this every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Pacific. We got two great guests with us tonight. Mr. Tony Lindsay, who is a Bay Area legend around here. He's got 25 years with Atlanta, but more importantly, he's got about 10, 15 years on his own. Lots of #1 records that he's got on the indie charts, which brings us to Christopher Clay. I'm assuming it's Christopher, and I just called you that. Who is all up in the indie soul music world back east. He works for a radio group called soulcaferadio.com. soulcaferadio.com. You can hear him Monday through Friday from 2 to 6 on the East Coast time. So out here, that would be 2 9 to 3. That's about that's where you guys are supposed to jump in and help me here. 11 to 3 out here on the West Coast. If you live in Colorado, you figure it out on your own. I can't help you. So I do want to say hello to some of our friends who are watching us like they do every week. Shouting out to Detroit. Ron Leverett is happy because the Detroit Pistons are back on track and won the first game of their playoff series tonight. We got David is out there in Delaware. He's saying hello.
Deacon.
We got a lot of folks down in the Atwater, San Joaquin Valley area. So Michelle Dawkins is with us, and she's out in Fresno. SMJ from the Bay is right here. I'm not sure who this one is. Edwin O'Neill is one of my high school buddies from Atwater, but I've never seen him do anything like this. So I don't know if somebody's on his
AI.
Could very well be. Because he's never done. But if that is you, Edwin, what's up, my brother? You got to talk, man. We got to talk. And that's what we're doing. So now we're going to play some music and get started and hear some of this great indie soul that we are talking about. And CJ Flash, take us on that journey. Let's go.
Came into my life, a stranger. You captured my heart, and now I've got to face the danger. I'm ready to start. Thought that I could make it on my own, all alone. I tried so hard to fake it. Now the truth must be known. Yeah. Two hearts are always better together forever. Two hearts are always.
All right, Chris Clay. That is from who is it? Is it Kathy?
Lindsay Webster.
Oh, Lindsay Webster with Stokely from Mint Condition. Yeah, that's
you know what?
Yeah.
Lindsay Webster's from my hometown of Kingston, New York, just like me.
All right.
Get out of here.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Lindsay's good. She's number 6 right now on the indie soul chart that you guys.
I'm surprised that one didn't go number 1, man. It got to 3, and it kind of petered out. But it's a great record.
CJ, you know Lindsay.
I do?
We do.
Yeah. Really? Have we worked with Lindsay before?
We have a couple times, and she married Dave's monitor guy.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
Remember they were we were in Athens and the adult club. Yes.
All right.
Shout out to Lindsay.
Here, I'm writing that down. You can tell me that story later. All right.
No, we want to hear it now.
So, Chris, I'm an independent artist, and I got music I want you guys to hear. How do I reach out to you, or do you find me? How does that work?
Actually, I have a team of people that look on the internet all the time, scouring the web. But more, if you got something, I welcome it. So please send it to the radio station, Soul Cafe Radio NYC at gmail.com. And, I welcome it. I want all the music. I'm a music head.
I got 2 words for you. Martin Luther.
What's that?
Yeah.
Martin Luther.
Really? Is that an artist?
Oh, yeah. He's been dropping stuff regularly, just, putting stuff out, but he has this new project that's coming out soon, if it's not already out.
What kind of music?
Oh, it's soul.
Okay, cool.
It's definitely soul. Yeah.
Martin Luther McCoy.
Yeah, for sure. You heard of Darnell Alexander? Okay, we'll have to send you some Darnell Alexander too.
Is he from the Bay Area too?
Darnell's from Minnesota. Minneapolis.
Okay.
Minneapolis.
And you know the other thing that's really cool about working with Chris and doing the indie market stuff. They make it reasonable enough, money wise, for us to put our stuff out. You go to some of these. I remember back a long time ago when I wanted to get something played on KBLX or a Bay Area station, and they told me it would cost $90,000, and they weren't sure how many spins I'd be able to get. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's so hard. That's
Yeah.
hard, you know. But we do national campaigns because there are people that want to get on Sirius XM. There's people that want to get on Music Choice and their local radio station. But I tell them all the time, look, you can't get on Sirius XM if they're not going to be the only one in the country playing your record. You need some other Billboard stations that are playing the record. So in the indie space, I try and drive them to, man, look, get on the indie charts, make some noise, and then Sirius XM will come and find you and perhaps play your music. So it is, but it's very expensive to do commercial radio. It's super expensive.
That
Okay,
was
now when you say
unreal.
expensive, you know,
All right, on the East Coast to handle all the stations from Miami all the way up to New York, you're talking about 50 grand.
To
It's
get
a
your
lot of
record
money
played.
to get your record played.
So it's payola, huh?
Oh, it's always
I
good.
think, I think that
Just one of those
they put it under non-traditional revenue.
I'm sure they do. Okay. I just
And they
wanted to
probably,
be sure.
and you really don't, not guaranteed a lot of spins, most of that stuff either.
Right. Well, they guarantee if you're spending that kind of money, they guarantee you 8 to 10 spins a week, which is not a whole lot for that kind of money.
yeah.
Where on the indie side, you might, you know, like with a Tony Lindsay record, you know, a brand new Tony Lindsay record that hasn't even charted yet. You're getting about 20, 25 spins a week easily. You know, so it works. And there's a lot of people. Radio is losing audience at terrestrial because they play the same 25 records all the time with a few recurrents thrown in. So at the end of the day, on indie stations, because most of them are internet based, you don't have the opportunity to play a lot of the same records over and over. So the playlist is way longer. And of course, those artists are getting lots of spins, and the radio stations are on 24 hours a day. It's limited commercials, so your record get heard a lot often than on a commercial station.
Yeah. All right, Flash, give us another one of them good songs then. Let's talk about that.
Tony Lindsay.
Uh-oh.
Watch out, man.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Did I ever tell you that I love you? Well, I'm telling you right now. Got this feeling everlasting, 'cause our hearts made that vow. You need me, and I need you. There's no doubt, we know it's true. For so long, we're standing strong. Nothing compares to the ones that share the gift of love. Gift that we both can groove to. The gift of love. There's
All right, Tony. All right, Tony Lindsay. Sound a little bit country, a little bit soul.
Yeah, all of that. I'll take it.
Okay. All right,
I
talk
didn't
about
know that. I didn't know if that one was gonna make it, man. When Tony first let me hear the record, I was like, "This is different for you, bro." And this record really struggled when it got to the top 20. I was like, "Oh, it's in trouble." And all of a sudden, females got on this record and still calling for this record. The record every other day, if not every day, is in the top 4 man. It's really crazy.
Yeah. Stayed at number 1 for 2 weeks, and it just dropped off yesterday at number 2 now.
Wow.
Well, you know, Bay Bright was trying, he was gunning for you, bro. He had so many. He was calling every radio station, give me a +5, +5, +5 spins, and he ended up beating you out. But that record's
That's
still
okay.
strong. It's gonna stay. It's gonna stay number 2 for a minute.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, so when you're talking about going up and down the charts, what is making that happen? Is it calls? Is it just listeners? Is it just what's happening with that?
It's actually spins. You have to have 200 spins to enter into the chart, into the top 30, and then it spins from there. So, a record enters the chart with 200 spins, and then as the records start getting more spins, it continues to grow up towards the number 1 spot.
Nice. All right, D minor, let's hear from you.
He went from echo to nothing.
Yeah, you turn your mic's off, bro. Your mic is off.
Uh-oh.
Is he back? It's still off.
Back?
That's a big mic too.
Now he's now you're muted. Now you're muted.
There you go. Now talk to.
Why don't you call that AI friend of yours and get him?
Yeah, there you go.
You work on that. We'll get back to him. Okay, so listen, you're watching IRTS Live. We're talking indie music. We're talking AI music. We're talking good music. Give it some more good music, CJ Flash.
Yeah. I like the way this sound right here.
Hey boy.
It's a love vibe. You gotta listen to your heart sometimes. And not so much to your mind. Angel, talk to me.
No, baby, you ain't gotta say it, 'cause I can see it all over your face, boy. Ah, yeah. You got that look in your eyes, boy, and they say that you're checking for me. Boy, it ain't no mystery that you want me. I got what you like, I got what you need. That curiosity is so intriguing, honestly. Don't think about your past, 'cause we can make it last. Even though you don't think it's smart, boy, listen to your heart. Listen to your heart, listen to your heart.
That's who moved you out the number 1 spot. That's Babe Bright
Move
on Soul
Tony out
Cafe
the way.
Radio. Wait a minute, hold on.
that's
Let me,
the
do my,
tune,
let me
huh?
do my DJ thing. It's Babe Bright on Soul Music Cafe. Anyway, that sounds good though. That sounds good.
Yeah, it's a good record. I don't know if that's AI. I don't know, but it definitely worked as far as people calling for the record and the record growing at radio.
Are they
What's
required
gonna have
when they
that
submit
same
their record?
sound
Are they
that a lot of
required
these
to?
AIs?
Go for it, Russ. What was the question?
Are they required to tell you when they submit their records? Are they required to tell you that it's AI?
Those that are being transparent, they just do it, but we don't require it. It's like, nope, just send us the record, But then there's others that when they put their stuff, when they send you their stuff, they put it in the liner notes that this is an AI creation. So we've taken the posture of because iHeart, Cumulus, and a few other radio groups have said they're only playing human music. So we took the posture of, hey man, we play music that sounds good, whatever the people want. So we don't ask you to disclose.
Interesting.
That's your microphone is feeding echoing again.
Yeah, just turn your volume down a little bit.
So,
Turn your volume down a little bit.
Okay.
okay, now talk to us.
Can you hear me now?
Still there.
Okay.
Still getting some reverb.
We can
It's
hear you, but
funny
it's
that
still
it's-
echoing. So
It is really funny that they're saying, only humans, but they don't have human DJs in there. I hear those
Right,
taglines
right.
all the time.
Right, they're voice tracking,
Right.
but it becomes a business because they do all the jingle jams and all of that, and because so many national artists have pushed back on AI, if they started playing AI music, they won't get these artists to go to their Christmas jingle jams and stuff like that. So they just made a broad statement, man. But I do know I had the same thing. I'm saying, only human, but all your DJs are your voice tracking with AI,
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense. But then the listener nor most artists even know, man, and they ain't paying attention that way.
Well, they miss it though, because when artists come to town, they want to see they want to go to the radio station.
Right. Absolutely.
No, there's no jock. You can't interview anybody here. There's no jock. It's I've seen it from the artist end where they're like, well, they're playing my music, but I can't even talk about it. I'm here in town. I can't talk about my music. It's different.
That's when they should come on IRTS Live every Tuesday at 7:00. We like to interview our artists and people that are coming in town, like Tony Lindsay, like Chris Clay, like Eddie Levert, like Layla Hathaway, like Will Downing. Check us out at youtube.com and follow us. It's free. Thank you.
That's right.
Good setup, Russ. Good setup. Hey, I want to ask you this. So I'm still curious about the going up and down the charts and the popularity and the this and the that. And so I'm a new artist. I've got a great song. I'm a human being. I know somebody who knows Chris Clay. I get it to him. He listens to it. He likes it. Are you the program director as well as?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so you can make that decision to put it on, or
yes, sir.
You have to run it by some other people.
No, it's all me.
Okay, so your big job is to control the flow of the station, the temperature of the station, and just you decide if it's going to go left or right. And because I'm just doing my research with you, I want to hear your station because it sounds like you're playing some good music. I'd like to hear them back to back. I'd love to. So, what do you tell? I remember going into a studio with one of our DJs. I was in radio for a long time too. And the old question came, we worked at Clear Channel at that time, as I heard now. And the question was, well, how do I get my music played on your station, on KMEL? It was Big Von. And Big Von said something I'll never forget. He said, okay, first, you got to own your neighborhood. You got to own the town that's next to your town. You got to own the town next to that town. And then when you get big enough to where we hear about you, we got to come and get you. You got to get to where, wait, who is this Jerry Dub guy? We got to figure out who this is and get him on our airwaves. So you said you got people that are working out across the country for you like that. So they're like a scout. Do you ever find like a hot one? They said, Chris, you got to hear this.
I hear it I get it from the web. Like the girl that's the music director, she's scouring the web all the time. And so she'll drop stuff like, Chris, have you heard this? Chris, have you heard that? We no longer have street teams because I used to get a lot of music from street teams and they'll tell me what's going on in the clubs and stuff like that. We don't have street teams like that anymore. So, getting your neighborhood sometimes can be hard because these kids, they don't want to talk to nobody. They want to be in their own little world with their cell phone. So I have to depend mostly on the internet. And, I look at all the tip sheets that, are on Spotify or YouTube Music and see what's the new stuff. But I really depend on the web to find stuff or radio programmers that tell me about the IBA. The Internet Broadcaster Alliance has a weekly conference call. And there's about 90 radio stations on their radio programmers. And they'll tell me what's going on in their markets and Southern Soul records or R&B records and stuff like that. So I'll take notes with that and go listen later. But I think with the biggest indie artists, I hear about it first on the web. I see their social media. Like I follow Cornell Carter. I follow Tony Lindsay. And they do a good job at putting stuff on their social media when they're releasing records. So I immediately want to, with Tony, Tony sends it to me. But with Cornell, I normally hear his records first on the web.
Mm. All right, so we mentioned two guys that are really, really good. I know you're gonna love them, Martin Luther and Darnell. So I'll talk to them, or we'll talk to them, and get them to send you their package directly. How about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
I got your email address. They can CC us on it. You'll know where it came from, and hopefully I know you'll love it. I know you'll.
Are you managing them? Because you're going hard, man.
No. Well, they don't know it yet. But there's going to be something about 90,000. That's going to be 90,000 reasons.
Right.
How do you guys make money? You said you run very few commercials, and how do you make money?
We make money through ad agencies because ad agencies, we don't have salespeople. So ad agencies look at our numbers and see where we are. And then they may have a buy for commercial radio that is $250,000. After they've placed all their buys, we normally get the leftover, and they normally spend that money with internet stations that are performing well in the category. So as an urban soul station, and they're looking for, okay, we need to spend this money with eyeballs and ears that got this many listeners. Then we normally, because we're number one, we normally get that buy real quick.
All right, CJ, let's hear some more of this music that he's talking about.
Okay. How about a little Tony Lindsay?
That's what I'm talking about.
Baby, come on. Yeah. Every time I leave my house, I feel a magnetism pulling me back. Thinking about you, baby, while I'm working all day. Smiling when you call because I know it's foreplay. Autumn leaves were starting to fall. Late September, as a matter of fact. Friends threw me a party cause it was my birthday. That's the first time I saw your beautiful face. And then the angels started singing. I found the woman that was meant to be with me. And I'm thankful for everything I got. Pleasure that I treasure, the queen that stole my heart. Lucky me, finally heaven's angels bless me with a sweet love. And I'm so grateful.
That's one of those #1 records of yours, right there, Tony?
What
Yeah,
is
that
that? What
that was
is
sweet,
that?
sweet
right
love.
Oh
Sweet
yeah,
Love.
I was early. Oh my
Yeah.
God,
I
I
think that
forgot
might
about
have
that record.
that one might have been the first #1 that I got with Chris.
Yeah, that was, man, Jesus. I was like, I know this record. What is it? It's been a long time, man. I hadn't heard
Yeah.
that one in a while.
Yeah,
Hey, you know
that
what
was
I hear?
AI. I could tell it was AI.
It's funny. I was just
I
gonna
could
say,
tell it was
he-
AI, bro. You trying to rhyme magnetism? You can't rhyme magnetism.
well, AI wasn't even out back then.
No, there was no AI.
Yeah, that was way before it.
Mm.
How long has your station been around?
It's my station's been around for, let's see, I've been on the station for right at 9, and so it's been around for 10 years.
Now, can I listen to it on my smart TV? Can I listen to it on my phone? What's the
Yeah,
preferred
you can
listening?
you can listen on a mobile. You can
For music quality, what's the best way? Like, are there different levels? Like, is there a lossless level? Just
I think they're all the same. You can go to the mobile app, you can go to the website, you can go to YouTube Music, or it's streaming on YouTube. You can go to Roku. What is it? Roku. You can go to Roku. So it's on the it's on Amazon, where you can, hey Siri, play, hey Alexa, play Soul Cafe Radio. So we're just about everywhere. There's new directories that are popping up, and they were talking about that today because they're like, we need to get in all of these directories. So that's going to be my job for the next few weeks, trying to figure that out. But yeah, it's available just about everywhere. Most people listen on the app. Most people that call are listening on their Google speaker, on their Alexa, and then the website. People from overseas, most people on the website.
Yeah. There's an app called North Star Radio Group, and they're definitely on there. It's covering a bunch of the stations there.
Yeah, all 3 stations are on the app.
What are the 3 stations?
There's a joint. The joint 247 is a 90s station. All it plays is 90s. Then there's the Loft Classic Soul and today's R&B. So it plays music from the 80s all the way up to today's music. And then there's Soul Cafe, which plays predominantly indie music.
So, do you have a bunch of retired, semi-retired, laid-off DJs coming your way, trying to get on your airwaves as well?
There's, we take on a lot of different shows. A lot of radio stations like this will just bring on your show and let you, because you already have a show, you can play it. We actually take on the show and pay you. So it's like you got a show, got a 2-hour program that features indie music or classic soul music. We'll pay you for the show if the show's good. And so these guys are, they're not asking for a handout. They actually spend money.
Okay.
And yes, there are a lot of people that call me and send me air checks of when they were on the radio. And I was like, can I get something more current? That was like 1995.
Yeah. Well, I got two things I would like to present to you. One is IRTS Live, that we do this every Tuesday, like I told you. And then two, my man CJ Flash has an amazing mix show that he does. What, CJ, you tell him.
I don't know about amazing, but we have a lot of fun with it. We do a 3 and a 4 hour slot 7 days a week, with the exception of Saturday. Saturday is more of a fun cartoon show, but every other day, Sundays is nothing but old school funk and soul and really feel good music. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Where can you hear that?
I'm on TikTok and Facebook.
Okay.
7 days a week. I'll send you the link.
Okay, please. I would love to hear what you're doing, man.
Sure. As a matter of fact, I'll send you a couple of shows.
We can put you on the Loft, man. That sounds like something that will work, especially the old school will work on the Loft.
Yeah. I'll send you a couple of shows and you can just listen to them and have them and take it from there. Yeah.
And then you could put IRTS Live on, I don't know, Sunday evening or something like that as a wind down. I'm just saying.
Hey, man. Hey, look, we got 24 hours that we got to cover every day. So
you can start at 2 in the morning. It's okay. We'll start at 2 in the morning. It's 5 o'clock.
I struggle because I don't want the stations to just be a jukebox. Right. I struggle for content, man. That's probably my hardest challenge. And finding people that are consistent. A lot of people think they want to do it, but then when they realize that you got to do this every week, same time, same channel, then it's like they don't really want to get to it like that.
Right.
Well,
nobody wants to put the work in.
CJ and I can tell you that we're consistent about it. D-Mine, are you back for real now?
Yes, I'm back for real now.
Bad, man.
Wait, no, echo.
No. I finally made it into the clean shave club.
Okay, there you go.
So there you go. Yeah,
I know.
All right, so you've been doing a lot of listening. Tell us what's on your mind with all this AI and this indie music. What you've been thinking about?
Yeah, just listening to what everybody is saying, and Chris, being that you're programmer as well as a talent, and yeah, it's a lot, especially in terrestrial radio, and I'm still on that side of the fence, more on the public radio side of things. So it's the landscapes. So the conversation is a little different, and things like that. But yeah, I've heard some AI music, and I'm like, okay, this actually sounds good. But then also, it's also in front of my mind that it's not real. Mm-hmm. So and so a lot of times it could be kind of it's bittersweet, more or less.
Right. So do you make the decision, or is your brain making the decision it's not real, and then you lose the fact that it's good, or are you saying, oh, I really like this record, but it's AI? It's like, because in my head I'm saying, is it good or it's not? Because we're getting to a place where people are loving composition.
Yeah.
Because most people aren't going out to see shows. Young kids aren't going to see shows. So it's like, I think in the next 5 years, people will love composition versus who that artist is. It's like, I love the song. I don't know who that is, but as radio people, then we kind of like, oh man, we know that's not real. That girl could never hit that note or whatever.
Yeah.
But I had to lose that and just be like, is the song good?
Yeah.
But you know the other thing that's happening with that too is I get a lot of cats, some producers sending me stuff that they definitely did through AI, and they want me to come in and re-sing it. And like you were saying, some of those notes that these suckers are hitting way up there, I'm going, wait a minute, man. You think I'm getting up there? Come on now.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, be for real. So I think you need to call somebody else for that.
Well, isn't this kind of like the same conversation you would have about auto-tune? So you either like auto-tune or you don't, but obviously some guys can make some money on it, and some people say no, but they're not really singing.
Right.
Well,
So
that's
what do you think about
another
that?
thing. I've never used auto-tune. I keep singing it until I get it right.
Well, that's because you get them chops. You get them
You
chops.
know?
Yeah, man, but not everybody has Tony Lindsay pipes.
No, they do
And
not.
that was the beginning, I think, of AI because, auto-tune is nothing more than AI. And so, it can go in and pitch correct and do things, even elongate your throat and stuff like that. But, I think that I just kind of pushed back and said, hey, man, if people are calling for this record, I'm going to give it to them. And forget what the chatter's all about. If it's a good record and a good composition, I'm going to at least give it a try on the radio. I don't know how long it's going to stay in rotation, but I'm going to at least try.
All right, Flash. Give us another one that's in rotation.
How about this?
I wish I was closer to you. Your circumstances change. Your touch is left the same. Closer. I wish I was closer to you. Won't let this feeling pass. Letting go's too much to ask. I realize with time a ripple fall. How easy to erase with set slow. Some things they can't be educated. For blame or pride.
Okay, that's number 4 on your chart. Some Sam Henshaw. It's called Closer. I like the way that sounds.
That kid can sing, man. He's
that's nice too.
He's putting up some good records.
And that's a human being?
That's a human being. Yes.
I like that. That's nice.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So how long has that been on the charts?
It's been on the chart about 6-7 weeks now. Okay. And just kind of bottle rocking it up the chart. This kid has a distribution deal with RCA. So they're spending a lot more money to, make his records just go up the chart and bringing on a whole lot more stations. But he has good records. Nobody's really pushing back on the records.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do like the way it sounds, Got a little Marvin Gaye vibe to it, just
right.
Can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with that. What do you think, CJ? You're the DJ. What do you think about these?
Yeah, I like the beat. You can dance to it. What they used to say in American Band, I like the beat. You can dance to it.
I'll give it an 8.
I like the beat. You can dance to it.
You can dance to it. No, it's cool. I'm glad it's not AI, but he sounds good. He sounds really good, and the record will definitely work. I will play it. I'll play it. I see folks 2-step into it.
It was weird because I'm listening. I thought I could. Oh, that voice sounds familiar. I thought I might have recognized him, but I'm like, no, I never heard this guy before.
So CJ, how do you get your feedback on like a place like TikTok? You're DJing. Is it people just responding in comments?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's a very interactive show, and the stuff that I play, people will react with emojis or verbally. they'll say things. And some people come in there, we get the trolls and you should play too short. It's like, this is not that vibe. Do not try to create what it is that you want in here.
Right.
This is not space for that. But, there are times like today, I did a show earlier and I played some stuff that people ain't really heard in a while, or I played some stuff that people haven't heard at all. And so, everybody from Anderson .Paak on down get those spins in certain shows. So
that's what's up, man. I see DJs on TikTok, and I always wondered, how are they getting the feedback?
Yeah.
And I never stick around long enough to see if there's going to be emojis or anything. It's
a hell of an art, because you are focusing 3, 4, 5 songs ahead, but you still have to be in the present with your chat room. The coolest thing is that you have a good folks have a group of moderators. So I have 5 of the baddest moderators on the planet Earth, and they kind of usher everybody in. They welcome everybody in and talk amongst everybody and keep everybody active in the chat. So the chat is constantly moving. And I interact with them as I see them when I'm not focused on the next record. And so, it's a lot of fun. It is very when you hear the show, you'll be able to hear how much fun we have during these sessions.
So now, are you able to monetize that at all?
Yes. So
dope,
what it is, the gifts, subscriptions, and a couple of other things, the posts, all of it adds up and they pay out weekly. And there are a bunch of DJs that don't really DJ. They call themselves DJs and they'll sit there and play music, but because they have such a large fan base and people giving them gifts, they move up in the DJ ranking. So there's a top 100. And if you go through that list, a lot of those people, men and women, don't necessarily DJ. They play music, but they don't like mix records. That's not necessarily their forte. But because they have a huge following and the people are giving gifts and they had a bunch of subscriptions, then they move up in the rankings on TikTok. So out of the top 100, I know at least 2 or 3 of them that come into my live and hang out all the time to get the secret sauce, if you will.
Right.
And so, that's just kind of how the nature of that thing works.
And what number are you, CJ? What number are you? I'm
somewhere in the 200s, 300s maybe, but because and I'm only at 11,000 followers. The cats that are in the top 100, they're all above 60,000 followers. So well above. Some are at 90,000, some are at 100,000.
Wow.
But because they have that many followers and the people that tune into their show love what it is that they do, they give them the gifts. The gifts turn into fragments and diamonds and that kind of thing, and that builds their ranking. So there's an A through D ranking, and if you're that high in the ranking in the A leagues, then then TikTok continues to push your stuff out further, and you climb up in the rankings from top 100 DJs. And it's a game, but ranking doesn't necessarily equate skill level. That's what that's all I'll say.
You've had shows who had over 1 million, it reactions? Is that what you would call it?
So it's 1 million likes. So what happens is a bunch of people will come in, and I don't like hit people over the head with tapping the screen. 1 tap on the screen equals 1 like. So we had over this past Sunday, we did a Soulful Sunday Get Down, over 1 million plus likes. So that's just people sitting there listening and enjoying themselves and tapping the screen.
And are people mostly listening on their phones or computers?
A lot of people listen on their phones. A lot of people clean up the house listening on their computers and that kind of thing. The Deacon Dave Elder, who's in here now, he's a part of the show, a big part of the show. SMJ is one of the baddest moderators on the planet. She's in the show right now as we speak. And they all come together. They're all a part of making this thing happen. They're the conductors, if you will, of this show. And
right. So basically all you have to focus on is what you're going to play.
Yeah. And interacting and just, allowing the jokes to come through and just having as much fun as possible and making it feel good. That's really what it's about for us. just
That's
allowing
what's up,
folks to feel
man.
good. Yeah, it's a lot.
I see it, but I'm not as skilled as you with the TikTok thing and social media as a
Mhm,
whole. So
mhm.
I don't get it. I was like, are they just doing this for fun or are they getting paid for this?
You know, honestly, some are just doing it for fun and they're getting their chops. So the interesting thing about technology now, there used to be a rites of passage before this electronic thing happened. You bought records, you studied the music, and you worked on your craft.
Right.
And the way that you knew that you were getting good is that you went to a party, and if you didn't get booed, then you were on your way.
Right.
That doesn't exist anymore. That rite of passage is done. So all you have to do is have enough money for the technology, and now you're practicing on TikTok. So there are a lot of people that are learning as they stream.
Right.
So
Wow.
very interesting.
And so did you do clubs and stuff like that
Yes,
before?
absolutely. I had to go through the fire, trial by fire. I've been
Okay.
DJing 44 years now. Russ has been DJing 50 years.
So
So
how do you like this side of it?
I enjoy it. I enjoy being able to do what it is that I love to do at the level that I'm doing it for the past 44 years. It's evolved and I've expanded with it. At first I was against it because we were on platforms, you know, when 2020 hit and you know, we decided because we were doing internet radio prior to that and we did terrestrial radio with KBLX. And then we decided when everything shut down, Russ and I said, you know what, we got to get this to the people. And we started showing our face and streaming. And then, you know, things happened and the show evolved. And I was pretty much standing to do it by myself. Russ had a lot of obligations. So I just took the show over and I kept it going. But TikTok, initially, I was against until I discovered there was a revenue stream because the other platforms, from Facebook to Mixcloud, never made any money, none. And then TikTok was like, oh yeah, they share revenue. Oh. And then weekly checks started coming. It's like, oh. But it's all based on your fan base, your followers, the gifts. Your consistency is the most important thing. So yeah.
Well, I will never be a competitor. Let me just put that out there. I don't know anything about that. I'll never be a competitor, but I would like to look at your hard drive because I bet for 44 years your music collection's stupid.
It's not as crazy as Russ's. Russ is the man.
Really?
Oh my God. Oh, that brother there. And
Where'd he go, by the way?
I don't know. Oh, he might have dipped out for a minute.
Yeah, I think he's working on some things there.
But Russ finds these versions. There's these guys out there that get the stems and they'll rework the song, existing songs, and they'll put together a mix. And a lot of the stuff is really, really good. They keep the consistency of the original track and the mix of the original track, but they just add certain things to it, certain subtle nuances to bring certain things out in the mix. And the versions are really good. Russ is a master at that stuff. So
if I may get in here and brag on my boys a little bit too, they call themselves the world famous, and they definitely are. They go on the tours with the Dave Koz tours and just do all the big venues out here with the big concerts. They don't do clubs and all that kind of stuff anymore unless they want to. But he's a humble man, but he's really, really good. You'd love it. You'd love it, Chris. You'd love it. So today we talk about AI, we talk about indie, we talk about TikTok. We're teaching people a lot, and that's what we do in IRTS Live. But we also play a little music. We got a little more time with these fellas, so play a lot more music in a little bit of time, and then let's go. Keep it going.
As can be, I feel the sunshine on my destiny, girl, and I know love abounds, 'cause when the truth goes in, the truth must come out. Two shall become one. Two can be one girl. We can do wonders. Heaven like thunder. Two shall become one. Two can be one love. We can be one love. We can be one love.
That's Kim. If you didn't know, you should know. That's Kim. He's number 3 on your charts of One Love, and that's underneath you, Tony.
That's
Underneath
the
you,
next
Tony.
that's the next one #1 record, man. I wouldn't be surprised if he don't go there this week.
He can do no
And
wrong.
he can't do no wrong. The audience loves him.
Mhm.
Stuff.
So, Tony,
Yes, sir.
when you're writing your music, you know what I love about your music? It tells a lot of stories. There's a lot of words in your music, and I can tell that you wrote it because this is you write the way you speak, and it's thoughtful and it's thought out. And then you have some great music, the vocals and everything as well. So, how long, you kind of hinted at it a little earlier, how long would it take you to write a song? If you said tonight you got an idea, I'm going to write a song about, I'm looking around my house here, about whatever, just being in the woods with your girlfriend on a Sunday afternoon.
Well, it's
What are you guys laughing about? Where you take your mind? Where'd your minds go, fellas?
Well, you know what?
I'm
You
looking
know
at-
what that song's gonna be about. I tell you that right now.
Wow.
Rock Creek Park is pretty much what it is.
But it's just it just depends on
funny.
what hits me, man. You know, a lot of times I'll go in and I'll have an idea for something, and I'll go to my studio and just put 8 bars of it down, mainly the chorus.
Mhm.
And if I think I like it, I'll shut the thing off and come back the next day and listen to it and go, "Ooh, yeah, I can develop this."
Mhm.
Or I go, that's a piece of crap, and I delete it.
Mm.
You know, that's usually the process. And you know, I take my time when I'm writing this stuff. Some of the stuff comes out quick. You know, I can be. I was telling Chris because I did a Christmas album back a couple of years ago, and that my song "Merry Christmas" gets a lot of play every Christmas.
Phenomenal record.
And I wrote that song on my way back from Los Angeles. I went down to Randy Amata's studio because he wanted me to come down there to put some vocal stuff down on a track we were working on. I drove back home up Highway 1. By the time I got to San Francisco, Merry Christmas was written.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
Okay, so
That
your
was it.
studio is like Post-it notes, kind of
Yeah,
like Post-it
yeah.
notes from your mind in your studio. So I'm
That's
surprised
it.
that you delete anything though.
Yeah,
Like,
because
if you say
you
it,
know,
you might not like it today, but 2 weeks from now, like, oh yeah, I know what I can do with that.
Yeah, exactly.
But sometimes you know when it's not. Yeah, that ain't even gonna work. It'll take too much to fix this one. Like, yeah.
Mm. Okay.
But you know, sometimes those have been the hits. Those could be the ones that can go.
It could be.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But I do have on my phone, on the voice memo,
Mhm.
Mhm.
I got so many ideas on there, man, that when I did my Something Beautiful album, I went back to stuff that I had put on my phone back in the early 80s.
Wow.
I kept listening to stuff and I went, oh, I forgot about that.
Mhm.
And some of that stuff that I took out and started developing were on the album Something Beautiful.
So
Okay.
like a vault. Is it all
Yeah.
categorized? You have it written down, and you know exactly where to find it. And
Yeah, I just put a note by it saying, slow jam or a medium tempo type of groove or whatnot. I'll say, yeah, okay, and I'll listen to it. And if it hits me, it don't take me. It don't take long for me to write it. Once that light comes on, it comes
Yeah.
out pretty quick.
That's nice. I
so
love
what's
it.
Reggie
your favorite? Are you, I'm sorry, do you mind? But
Oh, no.
are you a slow jam guy? You like up tempo? What's your groove?
I like it all.
I know you don't say
Like,
that, but what's your?
well, the slow jams are always the coolest. But
Mhm.
and I look at the time of year. Like I know when the spring and summer hits, you got to put out an up tempo tune. You know,
Right.
people are out barbecuing and stuff. They want to be dancing and barbecuing and dancing with their family and all that.
Right.
When the fall hits, you start to do the little medium tempo, slow it down a little bit, and then once the winter months kick in, slow jams because
Mm.
everybody's home making love, man.
There you go.
Love that
That's it.
seasonal music.
Oh yeah.
Thoughtful, very thoughtful. Go ahead. Go ahead, D-Man. What was your question?
No, I was going to say, going back to the writing process. I remember we had Reginald Calloway on, Reggie Calloway,
Mm.
and I remember he said that when they were as they were woodshedding and figuring things out musically, and when they kind of got to the point where they got it, Reggie had said that he remembered hearing Melvin Gentry singing "I Want to Be Rich." So he said the song was kind of done, but he said he liked the song, but he said it wasn't time for that song yet. So he said, so when it came time for them to leave and do the Callaway's thing, he said, well, he decided to go ahead and just run with it and kind of embellish a little bit on it, and that became a number one.
Wow. Timing is everything, man.
Yeah.
So, Tony, when you write a song, do you know it's a hit? Again, we've talked to so many artists that had big hits and said, nah, man, we thought we liked it, but we didn't think it was gonna be like that.
A lot of times I kind of feel it. Like with I was telling with Clay with The Gift of Love. I went, I really like this song, and he said it took a slow move, but I just had a
was
feeling
like,
that
that's one of my. It was one of my least favorite songs, but I knew I had a job to do, so I went and got it done. But out of all the songs you've ever done, that was probably my least favorite. But all for one, all is one,
all is one. Yeah, that one
all
hit
is
quick.
one. That is such a Santana record, man. Oh my god!
Yeah.
And that record shot up the chart in no time flat.
Yeah, that went
That's
pretty
the
quick.
groove I like to hear you in. But you like ballads. You definitely love slow songs.
Well, this next one I'm gonna give you, you're gonna like this one. It's up tempo.
You keep saying that, man. You've been saying
I'm
that for the
telling
last
you,
3-4 weeks.
we're getting in the mixing stage now.
You gotta
So.
remember it's a little colder out here, so it's colder out here all the time, even during the summer. So that means more slow jams. So Chris, what's your lane, Chris? You like because your station sounds like a lot of mid tempo to slow jams. That's what I love. That kind of stuff personally myself. That's
Right.
Really
I like slow jams, but I also like female singers. I'm very partial to females. Growing up in New Orleans, I'm a jazz lover, man. When I'm listening in my personal time, you can find me listening to something jazz.
I heard that.
Nice.
Just to break away from the norm and I don't even listen to commercial radio anymore. I'm either listening to my station or I'm listening to a jazz station or nothing at all.
So
Chris,
do you mind? I keep interrupting you. You go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Mr. Dove. No, I wanted to ask. So Chris, you graduated from Baton Rouge?
Yeah, I graduated from LSU.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, so I can only imagine what musically what you were. You caught everything.
Yeah, man. You drive up and down I-10, man, and you're getting it all, man, from hip hop to back then though, programmers had a lot of freedom, man. So radio sounded different from city to city. Now I can go from here to San Francisco and I'm hear the same records. It's like these cookie cutter playlists, man, which I hate. I cannot program under that, because man, I think radio is built to introduce people to new stuff, man.
Yeah.
But
So
these programmers are very safe.
Yep.
So can we ever go back to the days where radio our media itself could be, let's say, independently owned, like maybe it once was?
No, because the price tags are too high. You have to win the lotto. So that's why most people elect to start an internet station. But then that's very hard because you got to get out market. You got to drive people to it. It's kind of like the same TikTok thing. You got to be really good at social media or have those what is it called, mediators that you have, moderators bring people into the party. You'd have to have that, but you could probably find an AM station for nothing, but who's gonna listen? You know,
Exactly.
Right. Right.
Yeah, nobody's
You-
listening to AM. They don't even have AM radios in the car.
right? Absolutely. You
Right.
know, so to get an FM property that has some reach on it, man, you're talking millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, but I think it was and the guys could test to this. I want to say about maybe 13 years ago, maybe even a little longer than that. There's a station here, and it was sold for 25 mil. But the current the owner at the time who had that station, they wanted 30, but the actual buyer, the potential purchaser, had got it for 25. So, and that wasn't a lot of money. And since then, and that was 2012. So, it seems like the price on FM frequencies have gone down. Would you say or no?
Yeah, because I think that they're losing revenue, and a lot of companies, if they don't sell to the big conglomerate, a lot of independent owners are just trying to get up out of it because they're not getting the revenue from selling advertisement. But you know, if it's a really good signal, you're fighting against iHeart, you're fighting against Cumulus, you're fighting against the big three to try and get the station. So the price is going to be really high. And if it's a heritage station, you're like KBLX.
Yeah,
Come on, that's a heritage station. You'll never get that station. You don't have enough money.
yeah.
Well, they've changed it a lot, Chris. They've changed it a lot.
It's not what it used to be.
It ain't what it used to be.
No, it definitely isn't.
Jerry Dove used to work there.
Yeah, I worked there. And do you remember 98.1 Kiss FM in San Francisco? You remember that one by chance?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Both of those stations, they flip formats and things like that. So different, you know, I spent 20 years with those large corporate radio gigs. And like you said, you can tell from coast to coast who it is just because they all sound the same. They're using the same guy to do all the sweepers and things like that.
So were you a DJ or a programmer?
I was promotions and community affairs. I was a DJ a long time ago in my first lifetime in radio. But when I got back in, I said, I think I want to stay this time. So I went to promotions and community affairs because it seemed a little more solid. So I got there. I got 19 and a half years in San Francisco.
You had to hook up on everything free.
People ask me, Chris, people ask me all the time, what do you miss about radio? I said, I miss all the free shit, man. Come on. Man.
Absolutely.
You're still getting free stuff. Come on, man.
Well, only when it's a Tony Lindsay show, and then I got a call and say, man.
You're always welcome. You know that.
I know that's right. But
that's right.
Hey, we got about 2 songs left because it's late on the East Coast and Chris got to go to work at some point tomorrow. So
yeah,
give us a one to talk about and one to fade out on. Let's talk about one and then we get going here.
There's a place called paradise. Pack your bags and don't think twice. We'll chart a course, no map in sight, and love will guide us through the night. Every way begs for a kiss, drifting past the edge of bliss. Just the stars and the open sky. No one here but you and I. We have
Man, you need to do a duet with her, man. We need a duet. We need a duet album. That's Kathy Cousins.
Oh, okay. Right. You tried to hook that up a long time ago with her.
Yeah, man.
And it didn't happen for some reason.
Right. Kathy Cousins was her claim to fame, but she did all of Michael Henderson records. You know,
Okay.
in the nighttime and Take Me, I'm Yours. She was singing background on all those
Oh
records.
wow.
Okay.
She's out of Detroit, man.
Wow.
You know, but you need to do a duet album, Tony. I'm telling you, man, that's
I
gonna be
know.
the ticket.
And
All the
like I was
females of indie soul.
but like I was telling you before, the first one that I'm going to ask is Let Us See.
Oh,
That would be a super smash.
That's my girl, man.
yeah.
That girl is
Oh,
bad.
wow.
Some Bay Area roots. You probably know
That's
her.
right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you kidding? I've been knowing that Let Us See for a long time, man.
Mhm.
Wow. That would be
Oh
amazing.
yeah.
That would be amazing.
Woo,
And if you're
she's
lucky,
something.
you could have a record with her. You know her too, so you can
Yeah,
get
yeah,
her
yeah,
on the
yeah,
record.
yeah. How
We
is
got
she
some talent.
doing?
We got some talent out here in the Bay now. You know
Oh
that,
my
right?
God, yes you do.
Sir. Yes, we do.
That,
Yes, we
I
do.
really fell in love with the hyphy movement though in the Bay.
Mm.
Did
I
you
was
really?
like, oh,
Nice.
oh my God,
Did you
like I
really?
was, oh my God, y'all was bringing the heat, man.
Yeah, I remember that vividly. I was working at a record store, and man, we came across so many gems when it came to the hyphy movement and just in what that was. I think just for that time, I mean, that was a proud moment.
Did radio touch those records?
They did and they didn't. Radio touched
From my
radio.
perspective, I would say yes. But Mr. Dove here would be the one that
Yeah, that was CJ.
better answer
CJ
that.
was talking. CJ,
Radio touched it and then radio killed it.
Oh,
Wow.
It was a cameo thing. And radio was I think Cameo was the first folks to start playing the hyphy stuff.
Mhm.
And then they stopped. So it just everything just changed. It shifted.
Wow.
I'll tell you a story because I was at Clear Channel at the time, which is now iHeart, KMEL at the time. And I remember I did a conference one time, and I was the media person on the panel, and like 100 kids out here, and this one kid stands up in the middle of everything, young white kid with 99 black kids. This white kid stands up, and he's just yelling at me about how we don't never play any local people's records, and we don't never do this, and we don't never. And all the brothers look at me. You want us to get rid of him, bro? I said, no, let him talk, let him talk. And so he was just going on and on and on. I had to stop him. I had to tell him, I said, listen, I know what you want it to be, but these companies don't care. You know, if you guys decide to do like hypey music with violins, you know what we're going to be playing day after tomorrow? Hypey music with violins. So they tried it for a little bit, and then they realized that they really don't want to hear it as much as you don't really want to hear that 24/7. You think you do, but you don't. And so that's they don't understand the big, like you said, 24 hours a day, you got to play something. And if they're only going to play X amount of songs and you're hearing the same hypey song every 15th song, then all of a sudden it's not cool anymore and you don't like it. So yeah, they turned it on and then they turned it off.
That's it was when it was on though, man.
Yeah,
that's surprising. I mean, that's surprising that you.
I was down south, man, and like from the hyphy movement. Then you had E40 and that whole what was it, the Click?
The Click,
and then you had then Too Short just kind of blew it out the water, and it was just crazy just knowing that LA sounded so different. I mean, or San Francisco sounded so different than LA, and they're not that far away.
Yeah.
It was just a whole different vibe.
Well, we can't let you shout out San Francisco without giving Oakland that love because that's more Oakland than San Francisco, man.
Right.
So did you have dreads back in the day? Were you shaking your dreads and getting stupid?
Oh no, man! I was trying a little mini afro. I had a little mini afro, bro. Finally, I said, "Let me let it go, man."
But that's one of the things you can shake your dreads and get stupid. Yeah, So that was something. So look, we've had a good time with you guys, man. What we like to do now is go around home real quick and say some goodbyes. And get one last song. I'm gonna fade out. Let's start with D minor since you've been in and out the most. Let's start with you.
Okay. I thank you so much, gentlemen, for just being here and talking about the music and then just. Again, Chris, it's a pleasure to meet you for the first time, and just just talking about the business of radio, and then just what you have going on with this internet operation. It's amazing. And Tony, you know, I got nothing but love for you, brother. So I look forward to seeing you soon and
You better
shaking your
believe
hand and give you that dap. You know.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, CJ.
Chris, pleasure to meet you, brother. To echo what D Minor said, it's outstanding that at this day and age, an independent internet radio show is getting the momentum that it deserves, and artists are being showcased that need the shine and need the love and just need to be in front of an audience of people, because oftentimes that music is really good, but we never get it to the people. And so thank you so much for being the beacon and the vanguard in that space. Tony Lindsay, brother man, keep doing what you're doing as always. We look forward to with you. And please let us know when your next show is so we can just be there front and center.
You got it.
Do your thing, brother. We love
definitely.
Watching your thing.
All right, my turn. Gentlemen, both of you. Okay, I'll start with Tony because Tony's my guy from way, way back. I think I was in the station that time. You said that you came up to KBLX to talk to somebody about your record. And they made you wait, and you waited in my office, and that's how we got to know each other from way back. That was it. You came and just sat there for I'm like, when is this guy gonna get it? I got, but he sat there for a good hour, and we talked a lot, so it was good to know you, and I love you to death, man. So, Chris, no, go ahead, please, Tony, go ahead.
All you cats, man. I feel really, really lucky and fortunate that I have cats like you that have been supporting me for a long time and doing that. When you did the first show that you're doing on this, I remember that song. I was on the first show with Dwayne Wiggins.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were.
Yes, you were. And I appreciate you getting me involved in it, and of course my boy Chris. Without him, I thank Cornell Carter every day for introducing me to Chris Clay. Because ever since I've known Chris, I've been working with him, and he's been helping me getting my stuff played on the radio, getting to the #1 spots and all of that kind of stuff, and I appreciate it. And D Minor and CJ, love you cats, and Russ wherever he went, him too. I value you guys' opinion about my stuff, and I thank you for being in my corner. I really appreciate it.
And I'm just honored to remember my name when I see you in the streets. Now, Chris Clay, again, it's good to meet you, my man. Good to meet you. So glad you came out to the West Coast and I got a chance to say hello and all like that. You will be getting some emails from me because I really would like you to consider a lot of things that we talked about tonight. And
CJ, it's a pleasure, man. I'm going to be looking for you live, bro.
As soon as we're done, I'm going to send you a copy of just a couple of past shows, and then I'll give you the information as to how to watch the show.
Okay, cool, man. And if you want to put your hard drive in there, that's fine. I'll take that. I'll take that too and copy it and send it back to you. But it's a pleasure, man. I'm glad that you guys, D Minor, I would love to hear what you do on the radio, bro.
Thank you.
I love listening to other jocks and what they do, man, and how they posture themselves on the air. And Tony, man, we talk all the time.
All the time,
Jerry,
man.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me on. Anything I can do, please send me the artists because I'm always looking for new music. I would love to hear what you say is good so I can test your ears and see what you like. So definitely, man, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah. And I'm going to give you a copy of a couple of our shows that we've done. I think it would sound really good overnight at I
wouldn't even do that to you, man. I would. This is more. If the shows are like this feels like a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
This feels like Sunday around 3-4 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
It's that. I would never put you on after 6 o'clock, man.
Well, hey,
that's a slap in the face.
I'm giving you a man hug, and I'm just trying to get in where I fit in. So. But no, it's good to meet you, man, and we'll be talking a lot.
And there's a lot of sponsorship opportunity that could actually happen because this is a great platform, man.
You're going to make me cry, Chris. Stop it. You're going to make me cry. You're going to make me cry.
People need to know about the business as much as we can, the information we can get.
Yeah.
And this is a good thing. I appreciate it, man.
And definitely that's what we've done tonight. We did a lot of inside information about, like I said, about AI, about Indy, about CJ with the TikTok information, and just a lot of information shared. I hope that you guys liked it out there. If you missed part of the show or you just want to watch it all over again, and why wouldn't you? Just check us out on YouTube at IRTS Space Show. Hit subscribe. It's free. You can check us out and see all the shows we've done in the past. You'll get an alert for all the shows we're going to do in the future. And you can watch this one all over again. CJ, take us home.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Great record.
It's time to make it right between you and me. If you need a friend, you can count on me. I will lend a hand any day or night.
IRTS Live is created and hosted by Jerry Dove and is joined by a team of the industry's finest. Music director CJ Flash, Ryan Nicole, Big Russ, and D Minor. IRTS Live is brought to you by C-Dove HR Consulting Group, providing personalized service for building a better tomorrow. Enjoy the difference. Check out gdovedesigns.com for hoodies and t-shirts that make a statement. And be sure to get the new IRTS Live coffee mug. Join CJ Flash for the feel-good music for the people experience. Live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 1 p.m., Thursday at 6 p.m., Friday at noon, and now on the weekends too, Saturday at 8:30 a.m. and Sunday at 4 p.m. And if you'd like to join us as a sponsor, please email